back for Arfield. 1-0 Burnley. Scott Arfield. He's been threatening that recently. And all the Burnley players run to the Darwin end.
Burnley win the next ball. It's Rory now. On the outside. Decent.
He got it. Ashley Barnes with it. What a cross from Rory. And there was Ashley Barnes. And Burnley leading the derby.
Knocks it quickly. Finds Benson in space at the byline. Can Burnley get a goal here? Back for Brownell. Saved by the keeper.
Burnley won it to the end. That is magnificent. They deserve that.
On it by Fulton Teller. Off for a hat-trick.
He's got it. Hat-trick for Nathan Teller. Oh, he's on fire at the minute. 3-0 Burnley. It's Nathan Teller's day.
And Burnley are 3 up here. Fantastic derby. Here's Benson. Can he go on the outside? Comes inside. Top shot.
Oh, the goal. Manuel Benson once more. That is top class. Burnley have done it. Fantastic. Clarence deserve the championship title. They've been the best side throughout the campaign. Burnley have won the second tier. What a fantastic achievement. The players have been magnificent.
Yes, hello everyone and welcome along to the latest instalment of the Turfcast podcast pre-game show with me, Joe Redmond, ahead of what promised to be a huge game at Turf Moor on Easter Monday. Tomorrow, at the time of recording this, we are just over 24 hours away to a game where Burnley can seal promotion at home against Sheffield United. And how sweet would it be to do it against a team that's been battling with us for the last 3 seasons? But of course, they will have something to say about this. I've used kind of like a tennis darts analogy. Burnley, I feel like Burnley are on match point at the minute. We just need to get that one more dart, that one more set done, and we're there. We're in the Premier League. But of course, you can be on match point and you still can fail. Not to start the stream in a negative manner, because I do think we'll do it. However, it's not done yet, so let's not all act like it's done. But yeah, happy Easter, everyone. I hope you've had a good Easter so far. I know it's quite early. I hope you all got what the Easter Bunny... I hope you all got what you wanted from the Easter Bunny, who should have come last night. But yes, let's get into it. As usual, on these pre-game shows, I am joined by the fan of the opposition, and I'm pleased to introduce one of the most delusional people on the YouTube scene. It's Jimmy from the Blades Ramble. How you doing, mate?
Morning, mate. I'm very well, thank you. Good morning. Happy Easter to everybody watching the Turfcast this morning. I got what I wanted from the Easter Bunny, mate. What's your egg of choice?
Egg of choice.
It's got to be mini
Cadbury's.
eggs or a cream egg. I'll let you have a cream egg.
Cream egg are good. I like the Kinder ones, but I get that for lad, and then I just end up eating half of it more than anything.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of it. Yeah, so.
yeah.
Easter Bunny brings way too much for the kids, and then what are you going to do with the rest of it? I don't know. We'll have to see it off somehow, won't we? So let's just talk about Easter eggs. Can we do that this morning, Joe?
Yeah, do you just want to talk about Easter eggs for an hour? We can do that.
So you want to go back to tennis? Juice. It'll be juice on Monday.
I'll take juice, mate. I will take juice all day long. But yeah, get your comments coming in. Martin Stevenson says, will Joe be on time before going on to the usual crap from Martin? Late as usual. Martin, after your comments on the full-time show, mate, you can hang your head in shame. I've responded to you. Alex Willis is a new member. Cheers, Alex. Really do appreciate that. If you just follow the link that I have just put in chat now, you can become a member of the Turfcast podcast YouTube channel. You get things such as early release of the pre-game show. He says on a pre-game show that's live and you won't get early release off. But that is one of the usual benefits. But we've had to do this one live.
Can you come on time for members? Can you do that?
You can shut up. But you were saying, why are they giving you grief? You're not even late. Honestly, that's what you said off air.
I bigged you up on the Ramble last night, saying that you produced.
That's not what you said in the WhatsApp group, mate. You said you're slagging me off.
Well, I give you sticky WhatsApp group. But on the Ramble last night, I'm telling them all about your quality content you produce. It's no good if you're not there to present it to everybody, is it? You can't keep them waiting 5 minutes. They've things to do.
What I do, I press go live at exactly the right time, but then I leave the picture on for about 30 seconds, and everyone gets the knickers in a twist.
Well,
everyone gets the knickers in a twist. But more in the pot blade says, Blade here just subscribed. Hope the result goes the Blade's way, but do hope we go up with you. Can tell your players to have a day off. Plus here for our Jimmy Ramble also.
Thank you, Maury. We had an agreement, though. We're going to do it after the game, so he didn't jinx it. We were going to subscribe to Turfcast after the game rather than before the game. So
you've done it before the game now. So
Maury,
Burnley 3, Blades 0 incoming. Well done, Maury. Well done, mate. Jack, again, I just get bullied off. Do you get bullied off your subscribers, or is it just me?
Well, if you deliver what you promise, then you tend not to get bullied. So if you're on time, then I'm sure they'll be forgiving of it. So
I'm from this. Jack then goes on to say, up the late, Claret. This is bullying, Jack.
There you go.
Claret and Blue 1882 says, can't wait for Jimmy's delusional rant about how much better Cooper is in Trafford and how many goals the Blades are going to beat us at the Turf. To be honest,
hide user from channel. Delete and hide user from channel. I think there's the one you're looking for.
We love Muzz here on Turfcast, but that Trafford Cooper debate, it's been done. And when I came on your channel yesterday, I was like, let's do a Trafford Cooper debate. I'm like, honestly, even I can't. I haven't got the energy for it anymore.
It depends whether you bring loyalty into the conversation. So, who is most likely to be at their club next season? Who's most likely to want away from their club? If that's a quality that you value, then maybe that's worth a conversation.
I think the debate is always who's the better keeper. Loyalty, yes, I agree.
That's part of the argument.
Since when? I like it how you've changed your tune. I think that means in my head that you're coming round to the fact that Trafford's probably the better goalkeeper.
I have to say, when it's mattered, and I'm not saying Cooper hasn't performed because he has, but when it's mattered, Trafford's been outstanding for you, particularly the last game against Watford. I don't watch a lot of your stuff, but I think he's saved you the game, to be honest. I think you could have lost that game without Trafford in goal, and that changes the whole complexion.
Yeah, completely agree. Paul Holt says, morning, chat. Sorry for your disappointment in advance tomorrow, Jimmy. Up the Clarets, up the Ramble, he says. I do like Paul. I saw Paul away at Derby. He came up to me and he's like, Jimmy and Connor really good. I've been subscribed to Jimmy for a while, so he's a big fan of yours, mate.
Good lad. Good lad. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
Claret and Blue 1882 says, Jimmy, please give Joe some advice on how to start a stream on time. His professionalism is way... by the way, Muzz, you've spelled off wrong there. You're going to be an arsehole to me. Nice. I'm going to be an arsehole to you. Nice. So come on, Jimmy, give me some advice. How do I be on time, mate? Come on, seeing as
if you press... You know when you're due to go live at 10... If you press live at 10, you go live. When
apparently it's
10,
late. Apparently it's late.
There's a thing at the top that counts down and it tells you when you're due to go live. So if you press go live when it says 000, it's showtime. If you click go live, then on the time that you're scheduled to go on, you won't be late, mate. And if you've got a minute's lead in,
still bully me.
Do you know what? If you've got a minute's lead in, do you know what you could do? You could press go live a minute before. And then your lead in will be bang on to 10 o'clock. Believe it or not, that's how time works. So, oh no.
You all right? Before I move on? Yeah. Michael says, congratulations, Joe, on the Turfcast King for reaching 5K, as well as the Blades Ramble on reaching 7K. Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. And well done to Jimmy as well. Getting to the 7K mark as well recently. Massive achievements from both. Maury says, did we? I must have forgot. Shall I unsub and resub after the game?
No, you've done it now, mate. You've done it now, Maury. You've done it, mate.
Yeah. Simon Ward says, how can I support your content, Joe? You can become a member of the channel, mate. If you just scroll up, there is a link in the chat. There is a link in the description of this video as well, if I've done it right. If not, just go to another video. There is in there. You will get most pre-game shows on early release, and you get a little badge in your name when you're chatting on the YouTube channel. But anyway, let's move on. There's another United fan in the chat, so I just want to pick him up a little bit. He says, hey, guys, could be a cagey affair tomorrow. Both teams could, I think I was meant to say nullify each other. It could be a very boring game as people won't want to give up points. And you know what? We'll move on and get into that now, because I actually think that Blades have nothing to lose now. I think Burnley will be cagey. Burnley will be nervous. Blades are now in a position where it's win or bust, really. Even a draw's not enough. It's win or bust. So I think Blades start with high intensity, start with high energy. They come at Burnley for the first 15, 20 minutes. How are you thinking it's going to go, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think that's we've got to, mate. We've no other choice, have we? We've got to come at you. We need to win every single game we've got left and hope that you drop more points than just this game. So we need to win this game, undoubtedly. If we don't win this game, regular season over for us. And so you sort of stutter through the last couple of games then, I think, as well. Going into the playoffs, that's not maybe the best situation you want to be in. So different ways of looking at it. I mean, I think from a Burnley perspective, you could win the game and get promoted. So that's got to balance out against you not needing the win, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
you can afford to lose the game, and I understand that. But so there's some thought process that you might just wall up and you might just defend and
do what we did to Leeds.
Yeah, you're the best team in the league at doing that in terms of shutting up shop and trying to keep everything out. But the other side of it is you could win. You could put everything to bed now, and you could win on your home turf, literally, and see it done. So, will he go for it in the thoughts that if we go for it and we get beat on the day, then there's still a really strong chance we go up automatically, or does that slightly open the door for us if you do get beat, and then it's really, really difficult to sort of gauge where he's going to go, because there's no denying how we're going to set up for it. We're going to have to go at you. We're going to have to go at you. But will you see that as an opportunity to pick us off, which you're good enough to do? Or will you see it as a case of, right, let's just defend. And if we can get away with a point, we're there pretty much. We're done.
For me, like I said, I do think Blades are going to come at us, like I said, because you guys have nothing to lose now. I do feel like the fact that you have had your blip recently and your poor run of form has taken the edge out of this game. Like I said on your channel yesterday, I was very, very nervous about this game a few weeks ago. I still thought we had enough to win it, but I was still very, very nervous about it. I'm now not nervous about it. I'm a little bit apprehensive, but I know that if we get turned over 3-4-0, which again, as unlikely as it seems, because no one's even scored 2 against us this season. Like, I'm not saying you're not capable of beating us, of course you are. But for somebody to come to the turf and get the first win this season, it's going to have to be a monumental performance from anybody. But I do feel like the edge has been taken away from the game slightly from a Burnley perspective. I guess with Blades, the edge is still there because you have to win.
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think so. It's win or bust for us. There's no two ways about it. It's we have to come and turn you over. And the only thing I'm holding on to is I thought you looked pretty poor at times against Watford. I think the nerves are clearly there, and understandably so. We can't afford to be nervous. So if we come up, we should have been beating Oxford, Plymouth, Millwall, and that's with all due respect to Millwall. They're a good side in division. But we didn't. The sort of occasion got to us. And if that happens on Monday, season over for us. If that happens to you on Monday, there's a chance that we beat you. And that doesn't mean we're going up automatically by any means, because you've still got plenty of time to reset and go again for the last 2 games. But it just makes it very interesting going into those tricky final 2 fixtures. So, yeah, everything to gain for us. We're sort of already half in the mindset of playoffs now. And anything else that comes is a bonus, whereas Burnley have got a lot to lose. So, but by the same token, are in a very strong position. So, really interesting. This defines both seasons, doesn't it? Really, in terms of how we sort of get over the line.
You said it there, playoff mindset, and I agree with that. I did a video not long ago about how I think you could have done with resting the likes of Vinny Souza and stuff. Obviously, you would have disagreed with it, and that's fair enough. Do you think you're going into this game with half an eye on the playoffs, or are you going full gung-ho, win this match? I mean, I'm not for one second suggesting you rest the likes of Harmer and Campbell and stuff, but, do you think there'll be something in the back of their minds, maybe not really going full blood into certain challenges, or do you think it's going to be the exact opposite?
No, I think it's opposite. I think the players will be accepting that it's most likely playoffs, but that this is their last chance to turn that around. So, and that's exactly the right mindset to have, I think, really. So we're not going to be, if it is a draw, we'll be very disappointed, but then we will be in the playoffs. There's no 2 ways about it. So they'll have chance to regroup over the next couple of games. Even if you beat us, that's the case, obviously. But if we win, then we're sort of rebuilding some momentum. And if we do end up going into the playoffs, it's not a huge shock as well now. So I'm trying to look at the positives of it. Obviously, it's been a hugely disappointing time for us as a club when we've been in such a strong position. I looked at one of the tables I prepped for a video. I don't know if yourself were on it, but we were looking at where we were in the table, and we were top at league with 39 games played, something like 2 or 3 points clear. Yeah. It's been so disappointing to collapse like we have, but one of them, mate. I do think we've every chance of going to Turf more and beating you. But again, I don't know whether that'll be enough for automatics. I still think it's too much of an ask.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Just United says here, so if United win, how do Burnley recoup and keep their nerve going away to QPR the next game? Like, with all due respect to QPR, and again, this could end up me looking silly, like Jimmy's looked silly very often this season. We could end up losing that one and then losing against QPR. But I feel like if we have to win a match, if we have to go to Loftus Road and win it, because Sheffield United have beaten us, I'll be very confident we win it. Like Burnley have lost 2 games all season. Are they going to lose 2 in 4? Sorry, not 4 anymore. Is it 2 in 3? It's unlikely. It's
very unlikely. But a James Trafford red card, a penalty decision.
You know what?
He
after we equalised at Watford, he went down and he was holding his hamstring.
I know he did. No, I know.
Not now. Manifesting injuries on opposition players. Only you, Jimmy.
No, I never wish injury on opposition players. I think it's really poor form. But if there's anybody that's going to miss final 3 games at season, I would love it to be James Trafford through whatever means. You know, I hope he's fitting well and everything. But he's been the difference, I think, particularly when it's come to crunch now and these
the last few games.
Yeah, these really difficult, keep your head sort of stand up and be counted moments. He's been the main boy, hasn't he, for you? So
yeah, well, the stats say he's prevented 13 goals, I think it is, this season. So where would we be if them 13 goals had gone in? So it could be
third, mate, is the answer to that. Third is the answer.
Potentially, mate, potentially. But anyway, speaking of poor form, Sheffield United in your last few results, you've referenced it there a little bit, mate. You said sort of like you were top of the table. Before that, very lucky win against Coventry. I'm only joking. You were superb in that game. And I watched that game and thought Sheffield United could be the team that go on and win it now. You know, we've all been saying that Blades have been somewhat fortunate in certain games, and then they play like that against Coventry, and they were superb. And then you go and lose to Oxford. I'm thinking, hey, up. Then you lose against Millwall. Then the Plymouth was the one for me. I was like, wow, the wheels have completely fallen off the bus. And in your words, handed second place to Burnley and handed first to Leeds, because you were first when you beat Coventry. You went top of the table and then absolutely capitulated. The song is obviously Leeds have fallen apart again. I think it's Blades that fell apart in them 3 games. But what's happened? Why have you completely fallen off the cliff in the way you have?
What do you want me to say to that? What do you want me to say?
I just want your perspective. Why do you think you went from amazing against Coventry to just suddenly, like, out of nowhere, god awful?
I've no idea. I've no idea is the honest answer. I think you could. There's a litany of reasons you could put down to it. You could say it's confidence and sort of we've got a fairly young team at the moment, and you could say maybe the nerves have crept in a little bit, or the inconsistencies. It's a difficult one. We've had a few little ruckuses with Jack Robinson as captain. He's been sort of upsetting some of the fan base. We lost the game at Oxford, which was a huge blow, and then some of the fans gave them stick. Some of the away end were giving the players some stick, which I thought was uncalled for, and it was a minority of the away fans. But then that was highlighted by the manager. And I think it's been a little bit of a drip feed of a few different things, but that's been taken out of context. And I understood him playing this. He played exactly the same team against Oxford that he played against Coventry. No qualms with that at all, because we were brilliant against Cov. And after the fact, some fans, again, the minority are saying, should have changed it. Why should he have changed it? Best performance at season, go with same 11, even though Jack Robinson's in it, even though Ryan Brewster's in it. So we play really poorly against Oxford. Then you've got the chance to go to go play Millwall at home and change everything. We're still in a really strong position in the league. Millwall, you have to get back on track. Change it. He didn't. He went with the same team. And there were no changes after a really poor performance at Oxford. And that was his rallying cry to those players, saying, go again. You know, prove to me that you can put in a Coventry performance rather than an Oxford performance. And they didn't. They didn't perform. Then there were 5 changes against Plymouth. And when we weren't at the races, it were like the nerves had got to the team. And I think we've just crumbled at the wrong time. And now we seem to be sort of steadying the ship again. Brought in Rob Holding last game instead of Jack Robinson. Absolutely way too late. We talk about the Melier being taken out of the Leeds side, and that Darlow coming in has really sort of showed them up.
Yeah.
Well, Robinson was our Melier, and that's been done way too late, in my opinion. And I've been calling for it for a while, so it's not like revisionist. Rob Holding comes in, looks really, really assured. It weren't the best performance, but it didn't need to be. We just needed to break that losing streak. So we've won again against Cardiff, and we could well go on and win the next 3 games because we're good enough to do that. But it's not in our hands now. So if we do, it's more likely that Burnley still go up. So really tough to take, really tough to swallow. But what can you do when you've handed it to? And when I say we've handed it, and I said this last night, when I say we've handed it to Leeds and Burnley, that doesn't take away from anything that you two have done. There's been 3 outstanding teams in the league this season, and we are 2 of those. And I think we're going to be welcoming in another, aren't we, in a minute? So I'll let you get to that if you need to.
No, I'm in no rush, mate. I'm in no rush. But
no, keep him waiting. I'm still waiting for him to appear on Ramble last night.
Yeah. I do want to bring the league table in before I do just that as well.
Why?
Because we've got to paint a full picture to our viewers.
Right.
Mate.
Well, can you add our 2 points back on them, please? Can you add our 2 points?
Why would you do that? Why, even on the accrued league table or whatever it is you guys call it, you're still third. So it would make
we are
zero
third, but
difference
it's a little bit more respectable when you talk about the points we've actually earned on the pitch.
You've earned less points than Burnley and Leeds, and you are below Burnley and Leeds in the league table without the points or with points. The point -2. Who gives a you guys will when you miss out by 1 point, I think. But currently Leeds top, currently Burnley second.
Are we winning at the turf? Is that what? All right, okay, interesting.
I think once we're up against you, we take our foot off the gas and maybe get a couple of draws in our.
Are you on the beach? Are you on the beach?
Yeah, official tea towels, beach towels out. But yeah, looking at that league table, then, mate, how do you think it's gonna finish at the end of the season? I think I know your answer, but obviously it's not done yet, is it? Despite all the noise, a massive win for you at the turf could change things massively. But are you thinking it finishes like that? Leeds winning it, Burnley second, Blades third.
I think we might squeak into second. But
do you really?
No, I don't, mate. No, I don't. If I'm honest, I think it finishes like that. In terms of certainly in terms of the top 4, I don't know how whether Middlesbrough are going to squeak their way in. I'm a little bit concerned about Bristol City, if I'm honest. So I think they're a decent team, but we should have enough to beat anybody in these playoffs, and we've got to get that mindset right, haven't we? In terms of if that is the way we're going to go, which looks very likely, we need to be ready for it. And yeah, one of them things. I still can't get my head around it, to be honest, but I'm trying my best.
I've watched a few of your streams, mate, and I don't think you're trying hard enough, mate. I think the delusion is still very strong with you. But that's your middle name, isn't it? You are called Jimmy Delusion for a reason, mate.
Yeah, that's definitely my name. So listen, mate, if we don't beat you tomorrow, I will fully
tomorrow. I feel like it's a few days away.
I know.
Well, yeah, of course. Like, it's pretty much done. You have to win. You have to win.
Exactly, mate. So there'll be no delusion left, will there? I won't be able to eke out any more delusion, as you call it. I would call it hope. You would call it delusion. That's fair enough. Yeah. Whichever way you want to look at it, I don't mind.
Yeah. Raymond Proctor says, "Morning, everyone. Love the Blades. Love the Ramble. Like Turfcast. Hold on.
Yes.
Come on. You're supposed to love Turfcast. And on Leeds, just subscribed. Feel like I'm playing away being here. Well, Jimmy's okay with it, I think, mate.
I'm all right. We're leaving soon, Ray. Don't worry. We're leaving soon.
Speaking of one Leeds, and obviously Burnley could get promoted at Turf Moor on Easter Monday with a win. But another team that could get promoted on Easter Monday, Leeds United. And Connor is here from the One Leeds fan channel. How you doing, mate?
All the better for seeing you, Joe. Not so much for seeing Jim Bob.
Hi, Connor. How's the family, mate? How's the family?
Good, mate. All better for last night.
Yeah, I bet. Unbelievable.
How are we doing?
Have a good Easter, Connor, so far.
Oh, mate,
just half an hour of it.
It feels good, doesn't it? It feels really, really good. I'm just kind of coming round to it now. Just thinking to myself, tomorrow could be an absolutely epic day for Leeds United. And it all comes back around. Fantastic stuff.
It really could.
What's your Easter egg
celebrating tomorrow? No, Jimmy, come on, you're on my channel now. I'll just mute him. There you go. You're on my channel now, Jimmy.
I've never done that with him before. I've never done that, but that's excellent. I need to utilise that tool a bit more.
You're unmuted, Jim. I'm only messing. But Connor, how are you looking at this game then? I presume, despite some of your comments recently of how you'd rather Blades come up than Burnley, but we'll just brush over all that. I presume you wanting a Burnley win. I presume you wanting a Burnley win on Easter Monday to secure it.
That's all hope of Leeds as well. To one Leeds, all hope.
I couldn't care less who comes up, to be honest. A lot of this is just to massage Jim's ego and get him back on the channel a few times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that Blades fan. You hear that, Blades fan?
I'm on Turf. now I'm on Turfcast. I definitely want Burnley to come up ahead of Sheffield United.
There you go. He knows how to do it. He knows how to play the crowd. He knows how to play the crowd.
The puppet master. The puppet master.
Sorry, mate. What was your question?
I presume you're wanting a Burnley win, looking ahead to this game, looking into it. Obviously, you guys will have got a win against Stoke in the early kickoff. It's pretty nailed on that you'll beat Stoke. Although I did see a comment earlier on. I think it was from Andy. Yeah, it was. I know you guys like Andy. Stoke are the dark horse the last few games. Mark Robbins will want his record strong. There will be a bugger to beat. You two have both got to play Stoke. Connor, how are you feeling ahead of that game?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling pretty
confident.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Oh, pretty confident. Doesn't sound like you, Connor.
Yeah, I'm
pretty confident. Leeds are going to
That's
smash
rich,
everybody
Jimmy.
in front of them.
That's rich, Jimmy. That's rich.
What are you talking about? I back my team.
He backs his team, but I'm the cocky one. That's it. It's weird how it works in Jim's head. But yeah, no, I am definitely confident. And I've just got a feeling as well that Jim doesn't actually believe Sheffield United are going to go to Burnley and win. I don't think he believes that.
I do. I do.
You don't.
I do.
This is the same Jimmy that said they'd definitely beat Plymouth. So if he thinks that, he doesn't really hold any.
It's just hope. I know he doesn't actually believe that. So I think
it's the same Joe that says Trafford loves Burnley.
When have I ever said that? Find me a clip of me saying that.
He doesn't. Can we
You're just making stuff up now. Classic Jim Bob. He's just making stuff up, pushing narratives that don't exist to try and get people on his side. Speaking of Andy, I do want to ask both of you a question because, especially you, Jimmy, because you've never even heard of Josh Cullen. You called him Joe Cullen. But Andy Dunlop says, lads, if you have chance, I'd like to hear how Jimmy sees Josh Cullen and CJ. Both seem to go under Burnley fans' radar, non-Burnley fans' radar, but are sensational for us. I genuinely believe Cullen is one of the best people in the league, players in the league in that midfield.
Wow.
He's
what a nice guy.
Thoughts on him, Jimmy? Please.
I think he's great. Joe Cullen is one of my favourite players. No, to be fair, Josh Cullen name. If he goes under the radar, it's for a reason. It's a little bit like the Ampadu argument with Leeds. If you don't watch a team regularly and you can't see what they're doing for the majority of the games, particularly if it's doing the dirty work, like we tend to call it, and sort of
that's exactly
the non-flashing, doesn't make a lot of the highlights and things like that. If you don't watch them regularly, you're not going to appreciate what they do. And we've had a couple of players like that in the past. Connor's forever telling me that Ampadu does that when he's playing in midfield, which I take because he watches them all the time. And I take what you're saying about Josh Cullen because you don't get in championship team at year if you're not a decent player. So yeah, I'll take that. As I say, I can't give a comment on him myself because I don't notice him that much. But you don't tend to, do you, when you're not a fan of the club that they play for, when they're workhorses, if you like.
Yeah. As Lee said, he is the heartbeat of this Burnley side. And I know you did a watch along for the Norwich game, and obviously you got a great assist on that one. That's what he can do. That's just what he can do.
I weren't really watching it, to be fair, mate. So
you're already in depression mode, were you, at that point?
Well, Connor will tell you he clipped it up, so
always there with the clips.
Yeah, always there with the clips. With the Clippers.
And the Clippers,
I need the Clippers.
I know. Yeah. Somebody said they're disappointed that Alioski haircut's gone. But
I'm disappointed. That's how I met him. He had this Alioski haircut, and at first I thought it were him, and then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, he's gone.
No, I think it's. In all fairness, I think just moving in and just generally looking at the game tomorrow, there's going to have to be an almighty push for Sheffield United. To get the win, and it's kind of getting closer now, and I keep seeing heroics of Trafford as well online, and with the saves the other night and all this sort of stuff, and I am just thinking to myself, it's going to have to be some almighty performance. What I will say is I don't think either of you were good the other day. I don't think either of you.
I didn't get a chance to watch Sheffield United, but I'll fully admit that we were poor in that first half.
Yeah. I think, so I don't think either. So I think there'll be chances for Sheffield United, definitely. There'll be chances. But I think there'll be chances as well for Burnley. That's why it stinks of a draw. It just stinks. I don't put it against Sheffield United not to score. I think there's a big chance Sheffield United will score.
We've conceded 3 in 4, and I highlighted that in the last full-time show as a bad defensive record, but that just shows how good that we've been, doesn't it, recently? Yeah. Conceding 3 in 4. Blades can definitely take advantage of that.
I reckon if we had your keeper, though, and you had Melier, we'd have the exact same record as you, to be honest.
I'd argue that if you had Trafford, because he is the best keeper in the league, and you'd have already won the league, but if we had Campbell, we'd have already won the league. Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on.
You're the best.
Oh, there you go. I've done it again. It's fuming. But it swings and roundabouts in it. I agree. But I think if we had Tyrese Campbell, for example, we'd have already ran away and won the league.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone was. So Mick just said there. Oxford outplayed Leeds in the second. I'm not sure they did, Mick. I'm not sure.
I didn't see it. I was driving back from Watford, unfortunately. I haven't seen any of the Blades Leeds stuff on the weekend.
They put us under a bit of pressure. To be fair, they put us under a bit of pressure, but they weren't. It wasn't the. It wasn't the Oxford Sheffield United game where Oxford just battered Sheffield United. Do you know what I mean? It was very.
I was going to be nice then. I was going to be nice, and I thought there's no point, is there?
Go on then. Don't be nice. Say what you want to say, Jimmy. Go on.
No, I'm just going to say they can outplay, they can do whatever they need to do. It's the results at this stage of the season, isn't it? I know Burnley, from what I saw, was second best at Watford. Don't matter. They've got one of the top 2 keepers in the league, and he kept him in it, and that's all. You need to do enough to get over the line, don't you? At minute, you need to do enough to get over the line, and you boys have done it when we needed to go get 6 points out of 9 against some poor teams. We didn't do it. We didn't.
How do you think it'll go, Joe? Do you reckon you'll be? And obviously, I know Jim's confident, but do you reckon
nervous? Joe's nervous.
I'm not nervous. I'm in that stage now where I'm okay with this game. I was nervous about it.
No, you're nervous that we'll beat you, is what I mean. I don't think you're nervous overall for the season.
No, I said if you beat us, then I'll start being nervous. But I'm not nervous at this stage that you'll beat us. I think we win the match, and we'll get into predictions in a little bit. In terms of the actual game, and Connor, I was going to ask you that as well, so I'm glad you asked it me. We were speaking earlier about how we think that the balance of play will go.
Joe, before we go on, just before we go on, can we just flight Lee Greenwood's comment out there?
Oh, Jesus.
Which one? That one.
Joe, you come out of your shell when these two are out. Isn't that nice, Joe? It's like, you're finding your friends at school, isn't it? It's like.
Have you noticed, by the way, the Turfcast community is nice? There hasn't been any negative comments towards you two in the chat yet.
Oh, I tell you what.
Not like when you go on Blades Ramble. The first comment I saw, I think it was from this guy, by the way, was, "Oh God, not Joe." It might not have been you, Footy Fanatic. Apologies if it wasn't you. But thank you to the Turfcast community for being nice to Jimmy and
tell you what. Do you know what's great about this collaboration between the 3 channels is people get to see
it won't exist next season thanks to you.
People get to see your true personality, and then when you come back on your own channel, you don't slate each other's communities. Well done, Joe. That's everybody that's just subscribed. Unsubscribe.
I didn't slate the entire community. The first comment when I went on there was, "Oh no, not Joe." I thought, here we go.
I would like to thank the Turfcast community for being so welcoming to myself and Connor. It's great.
And I would love it if other communities were welcoming to me as well.
Of the Ramble! Of the Ramble!
Playing a dangerous game there, Joe. Slagging off the communities, mate.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm the only one that gets shit off my own. I'm the only one that gets shit off my own community for not being on time.
Well, maybe look at that, Joe. Maybe look at why that is.
Maybe I'm the issue. To be fair. To be fair, it was Footy Fanatic. It was me. I've got to keep it going from battle lines, don't it? I'm only messing, mate. I'm only messing. Burnley Till I Die says, we're nice in Burnley unless you're a horse fiddler. Yeah, which is exactly the case.
Well, I can assure you, I'm not. I can't speak for Connor. I would never speak for Connor, but I'm certainly not that.
You like Yellowstone.
But yeah, before we digress, then I was coming to you, Connor. I think that with Blades having nothing to lose for this game, they're gonna start with a high intensity, a high press, step onto Burnley and really, really come at us. Burnley need to hold out for like the first 20, 25 minutes and hope that they're not already 1-0 down. That's how I see the balance of play going. I think Blades are going to come at us. They have to win. It's win or bust for Blades. And then hopefully Burnley can hold out for the first 20, 25 minutes. It's still 0-0. They can then step onto the Blades and start playing their own game. How are you thinking it's going to go? Cheers, Paul. You've ruined just what I've said, by the way. Ruined everything I've just said, Paul. The Turfcast community is as bad as the other ones. Nice one, Paul.
I didn't say that. He did make me.
He must have come over from Blades Ramble.
He's probably come from my channel, to be fair.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Or another league channel.
I think, yeah, probably. But I think that is.
We won't go there.
I think they're more than good enough. I do think Sheffield United are a good on the day. I mean, you look at the Coventry performance, you look at the Borough performance as probably the recent ones of which I've watched Sheffield United have gone, right, that's the level that they can get to. Obviously, that first 35-40 against Leeds, they're excellent as well.
70.
You weren't good for 70 minutes, Jim. You were very good. You were very good for 35-40. Come on, I'm giving you a bit of credit here. 35-40 minutes, you were very good.
Should think so. We're third in league. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And why are you having a go at me for saying you were great?
No, you're trying to devalue.
He had a go. If you remember, he had a go at me for saying that they'd beat Oxford 1-0, and he's like, only 1-0.
I don't know what I'm devaluing. I've just said you were great against us for 35. But what am I devaluing?
I don't know. I'm very protective of my team, particularly when we're vulnerable like this.
No, but I'm saying if we can get to those levels again, which they've proven this season at points, I think Burnley will. I think you're right, Joe. I think Burnley will be in for a bit of a shock for the first 20-25 minutes, and the intensity will be high from that, like 100%. But the thing was against us in particular, they should have scored more than one. I don't know if we've not really touched on that with Jim this season actually, when it's come to maybe not being able to convert that many chances in terms of what they should do. I mean, Coventry, they battered them. They should have scored more than 3 in that game. Borough, they were all over it. Should have scored more than 3 in that game. And against us, they had to convert more than 1 in that period because we were going to come back at some stage. We were going to have a flurry. So I think the thing is with you is I think you will score against them. So I think Sheffield United have to come out the box and score within the first 10 minutes. I think that's what they have to do. And then they are good enough to get a second. I'm not sure they will, but they are good enough to get a second. So yeah, it'll be a nervy game for me as well, because we need them to not get maximum.
Because you'll have already beaten Stoke, is that what you're saying?
Hopefully, yeah. But I don't know. It's getting closer. When I chat to you two, suddenly I get nervous again. I was all buoyant beforehand. But now
thing is, can you imagine if you don't beat Stoke? Just imagine.
And then Blades win. For the neutral, that'd be amazing.
Do you know what the worst thing about that would be? Well, for us anyway. And this could be the narrative, and I'm sure it will be on Jim's channel from me.
I'm already manifested it.
But me and my dad were talking about this yesterday.
Shout out to Connor's dad.
Yeah, careful. We're having family time.
I'm a big fan of Connor's dad.
And he was saying worst case scenario. He said let's say if we lost tomorrow, which I'm not manifesting, but if we lost tomorrow, Blades win, then obviously it goes to 89, 91. You're still on 91, Joe, and then we've then got to play Bristol City at home.
Correct.
Yeah, you've got a tough second fixture in the next 3
game. So that is a bad scenario. That's not a great scenario.
If Stoke beat you, they play Blades next, so they'll go into that game buoyant. So then
they don't need to win it as much because they've already got.
There is that side of it, yeah.
Where are they? I think that obviously they've won a fair few. To be fair, I thought Stoke had really struggled towards the back end, and I think they've won 5 games, haven't they? But all of those games have been in and around the bottom, haven't they? All the teams have been in and around the bottom. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll have enough. They don't. I remember when we played them last time. They weren't great, Stoke. They weren't great.
Do you know what I like? Victor Johansson. Come on, Victor Johansson.
And when we sign Michael Cooper next season for the Premier League, I'm sure you can have him at Sheffield.
I think you might go back in for Victor Johansson. You couldn't get him last
time. I wouldn't mind him at all. If we could probably get him for like 6-7 million. To be fair,
here's one for you. Like you obviously next season, if you burn and you do go up, because I do think you will go up, even if worst case scenario you're in the playoffs. I do think Burnley will go up. They're probably best set up for the playoffs, to be honest, with all 3 of us. I think Jim would even admit that. But if you were to go up, you keep that back 4 almost like it is. CJ Egan, Riley, Esteve, Roberts, and who would you have on that left-hand side? Humphreys or maybe another?
Yeah, it'd be Humphreys.
Trafford's going to leave, and let's be honest. Trafford's going to leave. Would you use that money that you're going to get for Trafford? Worst case scenario, Sheffield United don't go up and literally just spend it on Michael Cooper. Jim's mentioned
100%. I wouldn't use it all.
But Jim has said it's not going to be cheap. It's the prized asset. It's going to be it's going to be 25 million. But if you are Burnley and you get that money for Trafford, I think keeping almost that back five and what you've had this season, bringing that into the Premier League and trying to get it as close to what you've kind of had this season will be the ultimate aim. So I think Cooper for Trafford will be obvious. I think you'd have to spend big money, but I think if I'm Burnley, I'm doing that.
It's 25, 30 million for Cooper, easy to even get a conversation going.
I'll honestly, we'll put a cheeky bid in of 10. And
do you know why though, lads?
Because and then we'll come back with 13 and get laughed at. Then we'll go for Johansson. That's what'll happen. But to answer your question, Connor, I wouldn't have him, but I wouldn't spend 25 million on him.
I think Leeds will do the same. If we don't go up, I think Leeds will try for Cooper and get knocked back.
Yeah, I think we'll both be knocking on the door.
I think we'll go for. I think we'll go for someone else, and I'm a bit worried about it, to be honest. But yeah, I wish it was. I wish it was.
We don't need to sell Michael Cooper, whereas we'll need to sell somebody that wants away properly, like Vinny Souza. He won't another season in Championship. Gus Hamer might want away now after a season in Championship. I think Anel is in last year of his contract. We'll sell those three, I think.
But you think you'll sell them? I wouldn't want to go in for Hamer. I don't think in the Prem.
All right, you're still bitter because he rejected you in summer, but it's one of them, innit?
I think
he can never stay fit, and he's overweight. That's the problem with him.
Yeah, well, not a good.
I mean, are we still on Hamer? Are we on Hamer here? I'd have Hamer 100%. He's a player.
I know everybody, all three of us would. He starts for all three teams. Let's be right.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd rather have
even
Hamer.
Connor saying that. He's not saying it, but he is.
Brownhill.
I'm on the left. You kind of want frightfully.
I wouldn't have him on. I wouldn't play him on the left. If Burnley had have him, I wouldn't then keep Brownhill in the 10 and shove him out wide.
If you're asking me, like, is it him or Aronson? I'm obviously taking Hamer, but I think we'll go in for someone a bit better than Aronson next season. I think so.
Is there anybody better than Aronson?
Good point. Nick Pope, maybe in the camp.
Yeah, maybe.
Mick Joyce says, I agree with Connor. Hamer is a potato.
Again? Is he injured again? He hobbling again the other day. He's always crocked. Always.
Is he fit? Is he? Are you guys doing a press conference? I don't think we are. Obviously, we're being Easter weekend.
I don't think we are.
Burnley don't do it when it's Tuesday, Saturday. Or Saturday, Tuesday. Scott Parker can't be arsed. So definitely not doing one this weekend. But
depends if he's got his hair appointment booked in, doesn't it, I suppose?
New cardigan fitting.
Yeah.
While the shadow boxing Parker in his bedroom.
Yeah. He's got a picture on his dog.
Against the big tunnel then, had he?
Yeah, I think Andy's made a good point as well. I think the problem with Hamer and the problem with Souza is, and I actually disagree with Jim, I think there's a really good chance that they'll keep hold of him next season. I think because Jim's saying for either they're going to get top dollar. The problem is the clubs are 100%, especially for Premier League level, 100% going to look at the fitness records, and they've not been good enough this season, Souza and Hamer. I think that plays a part. I think that, and that's a good thing for you, unless you want to sell.
It would be, yeah. No, it would be.
I think it is a good thing that they've struggled a little bit this season for fitness because they've not been on the in the shop window. The shop window, yeah, you bang on. So I don't know. I think you will keep all of them both, to be honest. But you might need to sell. You might need to sell for the second season in the Champ. Might need to do it.
New board members investing. Do you need to sell, Jimmy? Do you think?
Don't know yet. Don't know, mate. That's the test, isn't it? I'm talking worst case scenario. I think we sell those three. If it's two of them, great. If it's one, brilliant, and we'll roll with whatever we have to do.
We had to sell. So I think you might.
You can look at what Leeds did and just recruit brilliantly.
Even if you've got a bit of money now, though, you have to balance it for FFP as well, don't you? So it's one of them, really.
Yeah. True. Let's move back on towards the game itself then. Kind of skipped over the question there briefly, Jimmy, but is any injuries or suspensions
I'm not telling you
tomorrow that we need to be aware of? You're not telling me. It's not like you're telling Scott Parker, is it? I'm not directly on. Connor, then I'll ask you. You watched the game. You did a watch along, didn't you? Jimmy's going to be hard work. Anyone limp off? Anyone get a suspension for a fifth yellow? Maybe.
I'll tell you if you want.
Just all
oh no, you're going to tell me. Now Connor's getting some airtime. He's gutted.
He gets plenty of airtime with his 43,000 subscribers. Thanks very much.
And growing.
And growing indeed. Go on then, Jimmy. Who's injured?
You stop doing that because people are thinking that, by the way. They're taking what you're saying and thinking that. Can you just
I'm going off what other people are saying. It's not true, by the way. It's absolutely ludicrous. That's the irony is I was saying how ludicrous it was because some people can't accept that you've organically grown a channel to 43,000. So that was the point. Jim. It's all right, mate. That's all right. We can banter with each other, but
I'm glad you clarified what we were talking about because on a different channel, I'm not sure many people knew what you were on about. But
no, I know. My dad was like, "Well done, Connor. Are you doing this?"
Yeah, his dad were after me. His dad were after me, so I'm really stepping back.
Oh, Jimmy, that's bad. Dad, you're causing rifts in the family.
You got to respect the older generation.
This is why I've had to spend family time with them last night.
Yeah, no, building bridges for me. So, in terms of your original question, Joe, because what are you talking about, Mark? Come on, Mark, you're a top man. You come over to Ramble. There's no need for this, is there?
He's nicer to you on the Ramble than he is to me on Turf.
Talk to me about Joe being late again and being unprofessional.
Martin, hide user from channel, as Jimmy says.
Get it in the comments if you think Joe's unprofessional and tardy. So
I can hide you.
Gus Hamer he only makes 80 minutes every game, to be fair, and then he goes down. He sits down for a break, starts to hold his hamstring, pretending he's injured a little bit, but he's winded. He's out of breath because he's given absolutely everything for 80 minutes. So I'll be surprised if he's actually injured. You what?
Is that because he's a potato?
He's not a potato. Well, if you can play a potato in that position and he pings one in top corner or he scores like he did the other day, I'll take a potato. That's absolutely fine. So Joe's always late, massively unprofessional and
yeah, hold on. Are you watching? Put user in timeout. There you go, Martin. Off your pot.
Look at him. Drunk with power. Gets to 5K and he thinks that's it now. There you go, Footy Fanatic. Footy Fanatic calling it as it is. Get that comment on screen, please, Joe.
Do I have to?
If anyone's unprofessional,
Footy Fanatic were mean to me last night.
Over the mighty Ramble.
Spell my name correctly, Footy Fanatic.
So just to
one end, and that winds me up as well because Connor's always two ends. And then I see his name in group chat, and I'm like, shit, I need to make sure I spell it right. So Vinny Souza got through 90 minutes, which is a huge bonus for us. I thought he played okay. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about, Rob Holding came off with about 5 minutes to go of normal time. I'm pretty sure it was cramp. He hasn't. You are a big cramp. Hopefully, it's a 3-day cramp.
Well, that's what I mean because it's every excuse Wilder needs now to put Robinson back in.
Fabulous, according to Wilder. Not sure.
He was fabulous. He was fabulous. You got to give him his flowers because he was spot on. Spot on. The whole stream has been very unprofessional, says Claret and Blue. I know. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's because of you two. Nathan says Rob Holding. I thought he'd retired. But he did. I thought he played well.
You might think so, looking at his hairline, but he's fresh as a daisy. Don't you worry about that.
What has happened there? Because he had looked like he had the transplant of the century.
Look, I know you do your research on these things, Connor.
Maybe he went to Turkey and did it.
Just in case. So yeah, I think he's due a top-up appointment, to be honest, over in Turkey. So it looked all right till it got wet, and then it sort of started. One of them, weren't it? So
Joe doesn't get paid to be on time. It's a hobby.
Yeah, these two. That's a very good comment from Solent. And Solent's normally very assertive with his opinions. You two are full time. It's your job. You have.
I just don't like empty promises.
This is a side hustle.
I don't like empty promises. That's all.
You drop your job in a heartbeat, wouldn't you?
I'd drop half of it. I wanna.
His employers watch, so we can't say
that. I've seen something going around. You might not have seen this, Jimmy, and we have it 50 minutes, and I only expect it to be half an hour, so I will be wrapping up within the next 10-15 minutes. Everybody, get some predictions.
We don't do that. We don't do that. We're going to go for 2 hours.
Yeah, I can't be. It's Easter Sunday. We've got stuff to do. We've got family to go and see. I'm Connor. We've got family to go and see.
Family time.
We've got people who want to spend time with us, unlike Jimmy. That were a bit harsh, Jimmy. I do apologise. Moving on.
Jim's just hated by his family. Stay in there. Stay in the box room.
Yeah, he's locked in that room. That's why he's streaming all the time. He can't get out. He's just
trying to provide for my family. I've got a young family. I'm trying to provide for. Can't all spend it on air.
Yeah, we can't. But some of us don't need to. You might need to soon, Jimmy, when you're in your 60s.
Somebody came, just so you know, I mean, these are just random comments that come in, but somebody said you looked like Pat Butcher last night, Joe. I don't know what you'd done to give him that impression. I didn't see any dangly earrings out, but
no, maybe it's these AirPods.
Yes, that might be it. That might be it. To be fair.
AirPods. Yeah.
Get hold of this stream, mate. It's turning absolutely lawless, mate. Come on.
I'm trying to, but every time I try to, Jimmy just butts in. Classic Jimmy. He's obviously been like.
Can I just say? No, I'm only kidding.
Right, hold on a second. Right, he's muted. Jimmy, and I'm asking you this question though, so I will need to unmute you. I've seen something going round, and you may or may not have seen it. I'm happy to forward it to you. It's sort of like a Twitter message, iMessage. So it's probably a load of BS. But it says Tyrese Campbell's brother sent a voice note and said they've dropped Campbell and going for 4-4-2 for the Burnley game. While they're desperate not to lose, apparently, his brother thinks we win, though. Have you seen any of that? Heard anything about Campbell potentially being dropped? Because he's, apart from Gus, he's the only player that I really fear in your team. So if he is dropped,
if he drops him, he's lost the plot. If he drops him,
I agree.
I thought you just watched us, Con.
What do you mean?
How did you think Tyrese Campbell looked?
Is he better than Tom Cannon? Yes or no? Do you play your best
Why is
team?
it yes or no? Why is it yes or no? Why can't I elaborate on my own players?
You absolutely love Ty Campbell. You cannot drop him for Tom Cannon. You cannot drop him.
That is the first I've heard of anything to do with rumours about Ty Campbell being dropped.
Rumours.
I think Tyrese Campbell is our best striker on both current form and the way he's played this season. Yeah, there's no debate. He's done absolutely brilliant, massively outweighed expectations and all that sort of thing. The last couple of games, I think he's looked tired. So whether that's I wouldn't drop him for this game personally. There you go, Maurice said same, but I wouldn't drop him for this game personally because I think the biggest game left in the season. This is the game that the rest of the regular season hangs on. Really. You play your best team, but I do think he looks tired. So
is he being rested for the playoffs?
No, we're not. We're not thinking about playoffs already. We're not. As I mentioned that earlier, didn't I? The players will have it in their mind that it's playoffs, but this is the last chance to go and get something. So I think we'll be fully motivated for the game, and then mindset might switch if it don't go our way.
I don't think you can. I know. I mean, tired. Okay.
No, mate. Honestly, well, he's never been consistently fit, has he? In his career, really, he's never had a long patch of games.
It's one game though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you said that. You could say that about every game. It's one game. It's one more game. It's one more game.
No, but this is the game, isn't it?
I know. The game.
As I say, I'm not suggesting he drops him for this game. But it would not be completely out of the question because he's been slightly off the boil the last probably 3 games, I would say. Again, there's still a question to say. He's still probably our best striker even in current form, even over the last 3 games. But I wouldn't drop him personally. But that may be the case. I'm going to have a look at this because you've just sent it in, haven't you?
Yeah, I've just sent it in. But I will. There's nothing to add from what I've just sent you the voice note, so you can see it more than anything. But not the voice note. It's not a voice note, the message. But I do want to ask you both about this. Solent says, Joe, do not let these two go without asking Jim why he was slagging you off with Connor yesterday, saying you were easy to wind up. Go on, Jimmy. What's all this about? Is it your last appearance on Turfcast?
Forgets what he's that slanderous. He forgets what he says.
I definitely have forgot what I've said. I definitely have. Connor, what did I say about Joe yesterday?
He said it was easy to wind up.
Well, that's not slagging somebody off, is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Joe, do you know what, mate? Well, I know. I think you all know that it's by now. There's no sides, is there, to anything? What you see is what you get. I think with all 3 of us, to be honest. I'm not going to say something on stream that I wouldn't say to Joe. I mean, if you think that's bad, what I've said on stream, you should see what goes off in our WhatsApp chat. So it's one of them, really. Yeah. We can have banter with each other, but there's no.
Yeah, you've got to get rid of that.
Can I just point out? I'll probably admit that I'm quite easy to wind up, but I'm
you definitely are easy to wind up,
and I love it. Not as easy to wind up as you. Literally, just call you delusional, and that's it. You pull that face. It's that face where you tilt your head and do that stupid smile. That's when I just say you're doing it again. That's when I know I've got you, and I get you every time. Just say the word delusional when you do that.
Jim will wait to get you back as well. He bides his time and then he goes.
Yeah, he does. He does. You can see it going to his head. You can see it.
I might have to wait a season or two,
yeah.
but I'll get there.
Like the other day when I told him he's going to need to look for some Stockport County fans to do some stream with next season. You could tell that cutting deep. I've got nothing to say.
I just don't know who Stockport County are. So I'm just gonna look them up. So
you got to get rid of that hoodie though, mate. It's an atrocious hoodie. Sorry.
What do you mean? You said to me when you first saw it, that's nice. That I like that. Is that from Club Shop? There you go. Okay. Love though, Joe, says Martin.
Ed's gone completely.
Oh no! Ed's gone.
Jimmy's easier to wind up than me. Jimmy's loads easier to wind up than me.
No, difference is
I snap. And any of you can't agree with you can off at all.
Difference is I bite straight away. You create a narrative for the next 6 months to turn the entire Blades Ramble community against me.
It's just because you hate Sheffield United. I can't help how you feel about our club.
I don't hate Sheffield United. As Jordan says there, to be fair, he does get wound up with because I don't. If I did, I'd own it.
Why do you though? Why do you hate us? Why don't you ever give us any credit?
I don't. I'd love to see you in the playoffs.
I know you don't give us any credit. Why don't you?
Anyway, moving on. And just quickly muting Jimmy again for a second. Let's get some predictions then, please, lads.
There's
get
an unmute button as well.
Oh, for God's sake, I didn't realise you could do it. I thought with it being my bloody StreamYard, I could just keep it there like that. Tell you what then. Have that then, you piece of shit. No, I'm only joking. I'll bring
Connor's not in middle now. Connor's not in middle.
There you go. Sorry, Jimmy. He needs to be. And Connor likes being at the bottom anyway.
Yeah,
Connor likes being at the bottom anyway. And I like being at the top there.
I'm currently at the top. I'll tell you that for free. Jim should be at the bottom, even with his accrued point.
Yeah. Just a reminder of how the league table looks as well. There you go. That's how it is right now.
Look at all those reds, Joe. Look at all those reds.
That's mad, isn't it? I haven't experienced a red since November whatsoever. How does a defeat feel?
Is that more L's?
Joe,
than any other
just
team
say that again with the table off, because it's better for me clips if I've got your face saying it.
I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're on about. Unlisted, by the way. Unlisted. This is going, by the way. As soon as we're done, obviously I'm joking. Anyway, predictions, please. There's fans of every single there's fans of every single team in the chat, so it'd be good to get perspectives from a Sheffield
We're doing well,
fan,
then. We're doing well.
Leeds fan, you know what I mean? The fans on the channel, and a Blades fan. Andy Duckworth says Burnley won. Michael, you've said that. I'm obviously referring to the league, mate. It's pretty obvious what I'm on about. Tony Miller reckons 2-0, 31-31 undefeated. Footy Fanatic thinks the Blades are going to do it. Jim, I'll come to you. Let's get your delusion out of the way first. And I will remind you that when we went to the Brotherhood Arms in Manchester, that was the only game you predicted that Blades would lose this season. But for some reason, despite losing 3 since then, you've changed your tune. So give me your predictions, please, mate.
Love that. Oh, he's got a machete, hasn't he? He stabbed that in. He's got another one. Stabbed the other one, and he's twisted right there. That is elite from Joe. It's not normally his style.
1-0 Blades.
Oh, here we go. Go on, goal scorer. Tyrese Campbell from the bench.
Gus Hamer, the potato.
Joe, how would you be just on that, mate? If they do beat you 1-0, how are you feeling on that one? Are you thinking that you're going to recover immediately, or would you get a little bit worried?
I think we still go up. We've got ourselves in a position now where we can afford to lose this and then still go up. I feel like and again, this could be famous last words, but we're not the type of team to lose our heads if we do lose a match.
Say it with a bit more arrogance, and then that'll be great for the clip.
I'm not arrogant, so why would I start being arrogant? I just feel like we're not the type of team.
Are you not?
No. There's a difference between with 5 points ahead with 3 games left. Of course, I think that we're in a very good spot to be able to do it, as I presume the majority of Leeds fans are in the exact same position. Obviously, Leeds fans are a little bit more likely to do it because they don't have to play a team directly beneath them. But
the Jim Bob fans were being hard work to me last night too. The people that watch the channel are a reflection of the host, so it's to be expected, I suppose.
I don't understand what that's about. That Rick Connor.
Unbelievable.
I told you he stored it. He stored it and he's not happy with it after these comments. I'm going to go with an absolute boring 0-0.
Why are you doing that, Connor?
What do you want me to just go like a little bit out there?
5-5.
No, I want you to tell the truth. What you really think will happen?
It'll be a draw. I've said that.
No, okay.
Go on then, Jim. Back it up. Back it up. Don't just do this. Back it up.
I think Connor thinks we beat him.
What makes you think that?
I don't really. I'm just trying to add a bit of spice. I love it, to be honest.
I think if you're going, Joe, sorry, Jim. I think if you're going with Brewster and Kiefer Moore up top.
Who says we are?
Well, Joe's ITK. Joe's in the know.
Joe's ITK, whose cousin knows
ITK Blades. I'm ITK Blades. Don't know anything about Burnley, but ITK Blades.
Joe knows Tyrese Campbell, who's out for beers with him last night. Apparently he's getting dropped.
Yeah. That might make that makes it all make sense now, to be honest.
There you go.
Yeah, technically 6 points with goal difference, Joe. I always call it more 5.5 because obviously if they get 6 points and we don't get any, they're above us. So more 5.5. But yeah, the goal difference does help. So if we do get a draw,
we're better when people don't back us anyway.
No, I agree. I think you're better and Wilder's better in this scenario now where you have to do something. You have to come at us. If it was the opposite way around, Wilder could potentially be losing his head like he has done for the last few weeks.
Tazzy knows.
Do you know what'll happen though? Wilder will start scrapping again if you beat him. If you comprehensively beat him like 3-0 and like Hannibal celebrating in front of his face, it's going to kick off again.
That's is the epitome of going down swinging, isn't it?
Yeah. It really is.
I think we'll narrowly beat Stoke, and it'll be a horrible game. And they'll play
it'll be a proper nervy Ellen Road, I think.
I will score early.
Similar to like what I imagine Bramall Lane was against Cardiff, but again, as I've said, I've not actually watched it. I just listened to it.
Yeah, and I think we'll just have. But like worst case scenario, Blades win, we lose. We're still in the top 2. So
yeah.
What's best for Leeds? Or is it a Leeds win? Is it a Blades win? I mean,
for Leeds.
Sure.
Yeah, because you'd be chasing title then, wouldn't you? You'd be more secured at title then.
Yeah,
if you win. If you beat Stoke, you go first. Is it better for you than if we win?
Yeah, but the best scenario for us is you don't win because we can get promoted on Monday.
Okay.
So if you win, then it means we then go into Bristol and it's still on, sort of thing. So I'm a little bit like, I love it outside.
Yeah, obviously,
don't be too.
A Leeds win and a Burnley win, it's both ticked off. And then you worry about the title. I'm no way, shape, or form have even thought about the title yet. And it'd be stupid for Burnley or Leeds fans to do it. I have not.
Yeah, I'd like a draw though, because that puts you on 92. If we win, it's not us on 94, and I'm not sure. I think we then go on to win it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Lee Greenwood says, would love to seal the deal at the Turf. Jimmy, I presume you're doing a watch-along. There's been some comments in the chat about you coming over, but I think you're actually doing a watch-along. Daz says, get to the dice, Jimmy, but I think you'll be doing a watch-along on your channel, won't you?
I am, mate. I'm doing a watch-along for the Leeds. I'm not going to plug it too much because I assume Connor will be doing the same thing. So
yeah, I was going to give Connor the chance as well, don't worry.
Yeah, no, I know you would, mate, but it's whatever you... To be honest, a lot of people, since they've started following both channels, now have us both up at the same time to watch simultaneous reactions to the same game, which is ridiculous to think, but it doesn't happen.
It's because you've encouraged this, because you on your watch-alongs when I've been...
Do you not want to come over or what? Do you not want to come over?
No, you watch me on your watch-alongs.
I have been known. I've been known to stream Connor's stream onto my watch-along.
That's a good idea, actually. I might do that myself.
It's like the maddest version of Gogglebox you'll ever see.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing a watch-along of the Leeds going to Stoke and getting Leeds entertaining Stoke and getting upset, unfortunately, thanks to Victor Janssen. And then we are doing the Sheffield United come and overcome the odds at Turf Moor game after that. Straight on to 90 after 90 after that, where we'll see you, Joe, who's coming on come rain or shine.
Potentially. No, listen, as I said on your channel yesterday, I'm more likely to come on if Blades actually win it than if Burnley wins. If Burnley win, we're promoted, and I ain't coming home until 11. So
you dirty stop out. I'm not coming home till
She's
11.
outside. She's outside, so I've got to make sure I say the right thing. Connor knows. Bobby,
Connor
absolute legend, mate. Thank you for the super chat. Says Jim Bobble is doing a cry along. Fingers
Legend,
crossed.
Like and subscribe to the cry along.
Yeah,
I think Jimmy's on tag. He never leaves that room. Yeah, we said that earlier, Paul, didn't we? To be fair, he does love that room. At least Connor's out and about. Having said that, I think I'm always in this room. To be fair,
I'm going to Brimham Rocks today.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I went there yesterday.
Is that why you're going? Because he went yesterday.
I promise you I did. I promise you I did.
I remember you did actually.
He's gonna say.
Put it in the chat.
Did you?
Yeah, that's where you've got the idea. Look, you copy me for everything. Forum shows, Patreon, fan forum, battle lines were my idea. Everything.
Battle lines, but honestly, battle
only
lines.
Thing I don't. Only thing is, if I copied you and I bought subscribers, then it just wouldn't.
Oh,
it wouldn't be as natural.
Oh my god!
Connor doesn't buy subscribers. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Connor's dad is watching in the other room, and he's absolutely seething. You've pissed Connor's dad off now, mate, and he's coming for the.
No, I don't want to do that.
The problem is now this is now going to start like trending in my comment section, and people are actually going to start believing it. You so and so. I don't want to swear. I don't want to demonetize this.
I swear all the time, man, and it never seems to get demonetized. To be fair, but I know everybody knows what your channel is, Jimmy. But just for those who don't, where can they find your delusional content, mate?
What? There's no need, is there? Thank you for the opportunity, but the lead-in's a little bit of a give with one hand, slap with the other, isn't it? But yes, we are the Blades Ramble, Sheffield United fan channel on YouTube, on all of the platforms, but mainly
too easy to wind up, mate. Too easy to wind up, mate.
Well, you haters, that's why. So then you funnel it into YouTube. Yeah, so Blades Ramble. Thank you to everybody that's come over so far. We're a welcoming community that will accept fans from any background or channel. The only thing we ask is that you're respectful, and we promise that we'll turn up on time. So thanks for letting me go there.
Respectful to everybody except Burnley fans, I think, is the scenario.
Well, I think the Burnley fans that already come over, I'll tell you that's not true.
But Burnley fans on the stream, then, should I say? And Connor, you're doing some stuff for the games as well, aren't you? Tomorrow, what are you doing? Mate,
we're going to hopefully be doing a bit of a marathon stream if Leeds do go up after we've done the watch along for Burnley and Sheffield and Leeds. So hopefully, it's weird. I wish it was the other way around. I wish Burnley and Sheffield were playing first and then Leeds were playing, but it's not that. So, and we've got
bless you.
And then we've got the hard line tonight with Gabe and Brownie, which is always a nice spicy show. So yeah, if you fancy that.
Yeah, and what is the channel again for those who don't know? I'm sure everybody does, but
it is the One Leeds fan channel. If anyone cares, Thank you.
Yeah,
we do care.
Greenwood says Jimmy is sound. Don't tell him I said that though. Unfortunately, mate, you told him when you put it in the comments.
Thanks,
but this is just the tip of the iceberg with Jimmy. Underneath the water, is not as nice as he seems on stream. But thanks everybody for watching.
Why would you say that? That's not true.
You make stuff up about me. I'm going to make stuff up about you.
What do I make up about you, Joe? That you do produce quality content. I think that's fair.
I'm going to Jim's second spot, Brimham Rocks. I've been on here for too long. I'm getting hot.
Yeah, right. We're wrapping it up anyway. But thank you, Connor.
Come on, you've had long enough now.
Cheers, mate. I love that. I love that bye. It reminded me of sort of like kids' TV where presenters are like, bye.
Thanks for joining us. Come to One Leeds next time. See ya. One of them. Yeah, he's definitely got idea from Brimham Rocks from our chat, hasn't he? 100%.
Yeah, 100%. I've never even heard of it. It must be a Yorkshire thing.
Neither had I, mate. Neither had I.
Where did I go yesterday? Thornton Old Farm. Easter egg hunting. Brilliant. Guess what I'm doing today?
My day.
Easter egg hunting round the estate, which again should be fun. But Jimmy, thanks for coming on. Hopefully we see you next season. We might not do. Good luck in the playoffs. If it is that way, fingers crossed for you. Well, fingers crossed for us it is. Fingers crossed for you it isn't, but I don't really mean that when I say that. But if you are in the playoffs, and this isn't me saying we're definitely up, but if you are in the playoffs, are you confident or not?
I genuinely haven't thought that much about it at the moment, but I think I will get there to the point where I believe that we can do what's necessary. It don't mean I think we'll definitely do it by any means, because you go back into a bit of a lottery, don't you? And form plays a huge part in it as well. Might depend on when we drop into playoffs as well. So I don't know is the honest answer at the minute, mate. But you know, we're still fighting for this promotion. We've got to go to Burnley and get something.
I would love it.
I would love it if we beat them. Love it.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. But good luck for the rest of the season, mate. After we win promotion at Turf Moor, good luck in the playoffs if it is to be that way. But if it is to be that way, I do genuinely think you win it. I don't know, I said that last night to you, but I do think you win it. As Mick Joey says there, all jokes aside, I think we all go up, and I agree. And I think we're all going to be miserable next season, to be fair, if that is the case.
Yeah, we are.
But Lee
Brewer we'll be miserable together, won't we? So
yeah, we'll be miserable together. We can bring back relegation rivals, mate, which we did one
survival rivals.
Completely binned off because Blades were awful last
survival
season.
Rivals,
whatever it was called. That's how much I paid attention. But we'll wrap it up there. 30-minute shows lasted 1 hour 10 minutes. If you did join the stream late, just remember that as soon as I press end stream, it stays on YouTube for you to watch back at your leisure whenever you have a spare. I'm going to say a few minutes then, a spare hour. But also the podcast will be out as well within the next 15, 20 minutes. So if you need to get in the car and go somewhere or do some chores around the house, get your AirPods in, get your earphones in, get it on the Alexa because it does work on the Alexa as well. And yeah. You can
everybody's has just pinged now. So thanks for that.
Well, as soon as I said it, I shit myself because I thought mine were going to, but mine didn't. So maybe everyone else has survived as well. As Jordan says, we'll be miserable, but we'll have plenty of money. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Got to get there first if you're a Blade, to be honest.
Darren Varley Lee says, morning, gents. Morning, Darren, but we're going now, mate. But as I've just said,
Blades, I'll say that to everybody before I go.
As I've just said, you can watch it back here on Turfcast as soon as I press end stream. But make sure you subscribe to Blades Ramble if you haven't already. You probably already are. Make sure you subscribe to One Leeds fan channel if you haven't already. You probably are. And you probably didn't even realise you were because Connor buys it and it ends up by just random accounts.
It doesn't buy subscribers.
I'm joking. I don't want Connor's dad after me now, but thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to everybody in the comments and a massive shout out to Jimmy. Hope you're miserable listening tomorrow, mate, but I love you and hopefully see you next season.
Hope the Blades.